Hi everybody, I'm excited to be here for some Real Talk with Coffee. I've been talking a lot about the mental load this week and it's interesting. So I've been talking about it through my newsletter and through my social media posts and through some chats I've done with folks. But also I've been just sharing a lot of things like this incredible comic that I'm sure you've seen about the mental load, this idea of all the stuff we carry in our heads, disproportionately women carrying their heads. And now it seems like every time I talk to somebody, like even in person, we're talking about that. It's somehow making the mental load visible and putting it out there is really making people want to talk about it and share about it and figure stuff out about it. And I freaking love that. I think that's so important. That idea of making the invisible work visible so we can figure it out and give it value. So I want to talk about sharing the mental load because I've talked a lot about what it is and like how to recognize it, how to make it visible, but that doesn't always address how to deal with it. And one way to deal with the mental load that I've definitely tried to figure out in my own life and my own relationships is how to share it, how to take it, not just take it out of your head, but also share the load fairly with others. And so I was just talking to a friend recently about this and thinking about all the stuff we do that our partners may not see, right? If you're in a relationship, our partners may not see, or that our children may not see. How many of us, and I know I've done this, like you're doing all this stuff for your kids and then they whine about the one thing that didn't happen and you're like, why don't you see how much I give you? Which I also know is sometimes unfair for a 5-year-old, but I still feel that way. So one thing I found very helpful for myself is to actually write down, like literally make it visible, the mental load I'm carrying. And then I also try, in my case, my husband, I write down the things that he's doing that I might not be noticing, right? I try and make that list. And then I will talk to him about it and say, I feel like I'm carrying all these things. It's making me a stressed out mess right now. I see you carrying these things. What else are you carrying that I don't know about? And it opens up a conversation we can have about divvying up the mental load. And it's not always perfect and it's not always fair, but at least we can have the conversation. So I think that when we're talking about how to share the mental load, how to divvy it up, making it visible and having an open conversation about the mental load that you're carrying, but also that other person might be carrying too. And also on a different level, I find this helpful with my kids, trying to really think about what kind of stuff is buzzing through their brain that I'm not seeing. And a lot of times it's like weird little social anxiety, not weird, but social anxieties, stuff like that. Fairness about what happened on the playground today. Like there's stuff they carry that's invisible to me too. And when we're aware of our own invisible work, we then can become far more aware of other people's invisible work too. The last thing I want to say is I'm going to channel a little bit of Maxine Waters, and I will share that video here because it's an amazing video about reclaiming your time. But I want to encourage everybody right now, Real Talk with Coffee. I want you to reclaim your mental space this week. Here's what I mean by that. Your remembering capacity, your noticing capacity, that is not communal property. That is yours. That is yours. You can share it with others. You can use it in the service of others, for sure, and we all do. But it's yours. This is a mindset shift a little bit. Your mental space, your mental capacity, that's yours to give or to take. That's yours to use or to give. Okay? So when you are doing all the things for your family, or remembering all the things for your family, take a minute to breathe and think about which of those things are things you're choosing to do or opting in for or feel like you really need to do, but you're choosing to, and which of those things are being put upon you. Which of those things is somebody thinking that your ability to remember or notice is communal property? And call attention to that. Call it out. Name it. Say like, if you need to remember something I can't remember for you, go write it down. If you need to keep track of that thing, you need to put it somewhere that you'll remember. These are the kind of things I say to my family members sometimes, because my brain is not communal property. I use it for my family for sure, but that does not mean that anyone else can demand it without my consent. So, just throwing that out there. It's also a topic of my newsletter this week if you want to check that out. Real Talk with Coffee, reclaim your mental space, name your invisible work, and let us know how it's going. Thanks so much.